Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel and we talk about it in a positive way, and if that's something that appeals to you, you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here. And today happens to be Sci-Fi Sunday on this channel where we talk about all things sci-fi, fantasy, and comic book related. And today we're going to do our non-spoiler review of the Fantastic Four. Now, let's jump right into it. Okay, so the Fantastic Four movie has been one of those that we've gotten several incarnations of, and all of them have sort of left something to be desired. Whether you enjoyed the movies or not, we had the Roger Corman one, and then we had the Fantastic Four and the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then we got that last one where they all sort of looked way too young, and now we're having this Marvel Cinematic Universe introduction to the first family of Marvel. And to be honest, I really was a little bit afraid that this movie would not deliver, because part of me is kind of looking towards those other movies and going, what can they do different that these movies did to improve the context of this new movie? And in fact, I had nothing to be afraid of, because I'm going to tell you right now that this movie delivers on so much of what it sets out to do. Now, this is our non-spoiler review, so the basic plot of the movie is that Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic are getting ready to have their baby. That's the whole thing. She's pregnant. They find out. All of a sudden, here's Galactus. Time to save the world. There you go. There's your breakdown of the movie. Now, in terms of comical moments in the movie, I've heard some people say that there are not very many comical moments in the movie. I actually disagree. There are several times during the movie where they make jokes, only here's the thing, these jokes don't land. These jokes don't land the way I think they were really intended to land, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of times they come off as inside jokes. Like, if you've seen the trailer, you know that Johnny Storm kept telling Ben Grimm, say the thing, say the thing. And I actually commented on this in our trailer breakdown, that it seemed that this was going to be an ongoing joke in the movie, and it is an ongoing joke in the movie, but it doesn't land when they say it. And that's not a bad thing in this scenario, because ultimately it comes across like just something that works for them, just this banter that the two are having that makes them feel closer than what I honestly expected it would make them feel like. And this entire movie is that way. The dynamics between the Fantastic Four works so well, and actually does so good, that you could literally just watch a movie of them talking to each other. That's the way this movie works. You can actually watch a movie and have them talk to each other, and you don't feel like you're losing any time. You don't feel like it's not action-packed or this or that, because the actors are delivering on the dialogue to each other and this banter with each other so well that ultimately, if they had nothing else in the movie, it would have failed, but it still would have been a fun watch. And that's kind of cool. Just to know that the banter between the characters is so well done that, yes, the movie would have failed for not having action, but a majority of the fans would still have liked the banter going on between the characters. Now, the other thing that this movie has working for it that I think a lot of fans were a little bit concerned about is the Silver Surfer. I actually found that this version of the Silver Surfer, that's not the guy version of the Silver Surfer, but some girl, it works perfectly for the context of this movie, because it is set on an alternative Earth. It is sort of meant to be what leads them into the MCU, and we don't need to see that version of the Silver Surfer. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the Silver Surfer does or doesn't do in this movie, how big of a role they actually play. If you watch the trailer, you kind of have an idea as to how the character works in this movie. And it's exactly like that. Now, the thing about Galactus is I was hearing people say that Galactus looked way too small, that he didn't look right. But in fact, when you see Galactus in this movie, you're going to be pleasantly surprised because a lot of what you see of Galactus is from one scene. And the rest of the time when you're seeing Galactus, he is everything that you wanted him to be from the comics, at least as close as a movie could actually do. So I feel like on all parts, it has delivered a solid set of characters. The acting is extraordinary in the movie, and the plot is action-packed enough to keep you kind of engaged in what's going on. You sort of start to feel for these characters and don't want to see anything bad happen to them. And I've noticed a trend. People are saying that this movie is outdoing Superman, but it's only coming from one side. And the thing of it is that both of these movies are completely different from each other. You can't really compare the Fantastic Four to Superman. They're two different companies, number one. And number two, they are two very different heroes. When you take a look at the company side of things, you have the fact that Marvel has been around for a long time. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been around for a while, so it's very easy for Marvel to outdo a DC film right now. In fact, even if you jump back to when the Snyderverse was going on, it was still very easy for Marvel to outdo the DCEU. It was, because it only had a handful of films, and Marvel had already had a couple of good years of film and continuing on. So it's been around a lot longer. You kind of have to take that as well. And these characters, the way they brought them in, just really catered to the fans in a good way. Now, the new Superman movie has the same type of vibe. It really does. And it, in fact, has made its money back. But depending upon who you listen to on YouTube, you're going to get told drastically different things. And I want to be that channel that's very upfront with you. I love the Superman movie. I love the Zack Snyder Superman movie. After a while, there's just some things I didn't really care for in the movie. I still did enjoy it immensely. I love all the Marvel movies when they come out. I think all of them are a lot of fun. There are some things with some movies that I really don't enjoy. But overall, I am a fan that's going to be completely honest with you and tell you what I didn't enjoy and what I did. And on this channel, if I don't enjoy it, I simply don't talk about it. And that's the thing you have to remember. A lot of these channels are based on hate, and they will just sit there and constantly bombard you with false statements and hate. And early on, the reason I bring this up is early on when these trailers started airing, there was a lot of misinformation about what exactly Sue Storm's role was going to be within the context of this group. A lot of people were saying she's going to be the hero, she's going to be the leader. And in fact, that's not true. And a lot of the people who said that are now backtracking and making sure that you know, as a fan, that that didn't happen. And the reason they're doing that is because it kind of coincides with them being able to say that this is a good movie, or still say that this is a bad movie. And whatever side of the fence they're on, all sides that were saying that Sue Storm's going to be some leader to the group, all sides were wrong. Because the fact of the matter is that every member of this group serves a purpose, and every member of this group is important. And you have to take everything that you see in these movies, you have to go and watch them yourselves. Because the Superman movie is nothing like this movie, but it is still a great movie. And the things they were telling you were going to be wrong with this movie are in fact not wrong with it at all. This movie is very different from what you think it would be. I gave you the trailer breakdown, and I gave you a bit of information about the movie in this review, but I don't want to give away too much because there's not a lot to give away. This movie doesn't have some big, huge plot that I could just sit there and go this, and this without the spoilers, because a majority of this movie and its content you got to see in the trailer. when I say you got to see it in the trailer, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, you know what the plot is if you watch the trailer, and therefore you know this movie is going to be for you. The dialogue, the acting, the action, the costumes even in this movie really do perform pretty good. They look good on screen. Everything works for this movie. Overall, I have to give this movie 4 stars because I really did enjoy it. The only reason I won't give it more stars than that is simply because I do feel that they did have jokes in there, and a lot of the jokes didn't land the way they probably anticipated them to, but the actors do manage to pull it off to make it like bantering between the characters rather than just some joke we're supposed to be laughing at. Then there are some relationships that I would have rather have seen them explore in the movie a little bit more that we don't get to see. A lot of the people that we meet in the movie, I don't care that much for. I don't have any investment in them. And I feel like in some cases, you could do better than that. And in this case, I do feel like we could have felt something more for a few of the characters that they do show in this movie. But the main characters, the Fantastic Four, like I said early on, you feel for these characters and you don't want anything bad to happen to them. Now, that's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. Have you seen this movie? Have you not seen it? If you have seen it, what did you think of it? Keep it spoiler-free in the comments, but let me know what you thought of this movie, and let me know what you are thinking about this movie if you haven't seen it yet. And friends, make sure you leave me that comment, and make sure that you share this video with all of your friends so they can leave a comment as well. Then make sure you're hitting that like button. It helps the algorithm of YouTube, and we really appreciate it because we're trying to get out there with more positive videos, and every single time you hit that like button, it helps us so much. Then friends, don't forget, we need some subscribers as well, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've watched some of our videos and you like the content, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button, and you're definitely going to want to hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it and you know it. Fandom is family.